In Nigeria, being 30 and unmarried as a woman is almost like missing a life deadline you didn't set. People start looking at you like you forgot something important, and in the rush to silence the questions, you just might end up saying yes to the wrong person. I feel like this was initially the case for Legachi before God's intervention. Yes, I had to mention God because that girl went through hell and back in the hands of her supposed Yankee boyfriend. Hey fellow book lovers, welcome to another episode of my books and I. And today I'll be talking about Call Me Legachi by Adesua Oman Nwokedi. Between rage and delight, I don't know which one I felt the most all through the course of reading this book. There's so many red flags that Legachi should have clocked from the onset. I mean, why is your boyfriend who is abroad asking you to send your accommodation fees for his own personal project and you did without blinking an eyelid? Love? Certainly not. Jazz? Maybe yes. Despite how condescending her boyfriend Meze talks to her, Legachi for a very long time was under the delusion that one day he would propose to her. They'll get married and live happily ever after. To move closer to her man and to strengthen their relationship, she decided to put effort into studying to get a scholarship to the UK, which she did, happy that she and Meze gets to formalize their relationship. But on arrival, everything went topsy-turvy. The whole relationship has been a sham, and the kind of happily ever after Meze painted for her had been a mirage. She began suffering the consequences of trusting her man with accommodation fees from day one when she realized she would be staying with Meze, who is a squatter in a small apartment in the ghetto with 4 other men. It was a case of moving from grace to grass, or better still, moving from frying pan to fire. This is a story of chasing love, survival, facing disappointment, dealing with toxic relationships, and finding hope again, even when everything seems lost. Legachi has to take on several jobs so she could afford an apartment. Luck shone on her when she got the job to be a nanny to the daughter of Roman, a single parent. That new job changed her life completely in a positive way, and love found its way up from there. I don't want to dive into the complexity that followed Roman's life, the issue with his late wife, the girls surrounded by him, his baby mama drama, work demands, and every other thing that was going on in his life as a young medical doctor in the UK. Roman was such a gentleman who loved Legachi in ways she didn't even think she deserved, until a friction happened between them and Legachi had to move back to Nigeria to her old job. But what did they say about what is meant for you? It will not pass you by, right? And even if it does, it will find its way back to you in its full glory. After all that happened, a little bird whispered to me that Legachi and Roman lived happily ever after. The book never mentioned, but I've concluded already. I'm intentionally avoiding saying much about this book because I want you to get a copy, squeeze out the juices I've left out, and gulp it down with satisfaction. It's a very interesting read, trust me. Adesua will always have my heart. I'm a big fan of her work, I am looking forward to reading the newly released Malomo series. And it's a wrap on this episode. As always, thank you for doing this with me. Kindly drop a comment on your favorite part of the book if you've read it, because it's somewhat a popular title. And if you haven't, you know what to do. Bye.